This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? John Impemba with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook live show. It is Friday, and boy, oh boy, do we have a slate for all of you. 11 games over on DraftKings. FanDuel's giving you the full 12. Grande had your playbook for today. Quite a few big names ruled out for this slate. It's going to ship and shape the way we build our lineups today. Ownership something here today, Grande. There's some very cheap plays getting a lot of ownership that weren't there for us last night when we did the preview show. And I guess it decides on whether or not it is good chalk or bad chalk tonight when it comes to building.
Yeah, ownership will definitely be interesting. We haven't had a lot of these slates on DraftKings where we've had 11 games. So it hasn't been, this point that I'm about to make hasn't been as relevant as it will be like for tonight. But it's definitely easier to get different and still be okay and win tournaments on these bigger slates because, you know, there's 11 games, there's 22 teams, there's 5 starters and a bench for every team. And like, you don't have to just follow the chalk yellow brick road, right? Like you can just forge your own path. So I think like every slate, there's good chalk and bad chalk, but especially on these bigger slates where you're like head is spinning. You're like, oh my God, there's so much news. What do I do? How can I do this? Like, I don't know what, like take a step back, take a deep breath. We're all in this together. We all will get the same information and we'll look at what is good and what's bad chalk because, you know, like some of the chalk is really cheap and I like it. Some of the chalk is cheap and I don't like it. And there's a lot of options. You don't have to just play, you know, just throw it out there. Like, and I'm not saying I would or wouldn't, a $3,400 Jeremy Sohan at 50%, right? Like maybe we will, maybe we won't. But I'm just saying like it is going to be interesting. It's a bigger slate.
It's 11 games in an hour, by the way.
In an hour.
Starts at 7, ends at 8 is the start times for the slate tonight. So you won't have to wait long for the injury news if you guys are kind of building and waiting for someone that to come through. Because, this isn't a long, drawn-out slate. It's going to come quick, and everybody's going to be kind of knowing where they stand by the time the end of the night comes here. So we appreciate all of you tuning in. Jeff saying good evening. The other Jeff calling me as consistent as Sean Livingston's midi pull-up.
That's definitely, you should definitely take that as a compliment.
No, we were the ones a couple minutes late here today. Mostly my fault, but we got here, so you're on time. Gabriel's playing against straight Sharks tonight. Well, good luck. We'll try to help you out beating the Sharks, man. Daz in the chat, Rolly in the chat, Faisal in the chat. What's up, guys? Happy to have you. Who's out from San Antonio that Sohan's in play? Well, they don't have Wemby, obviously. They also don't have Luke Cornett today as well. What was it? Was there one other one that also?
Stephon Castle.
Yeah, Castle's out as well. Yeah, so looking for a FanDuel core already. Well, this is a DraftKings show.
We do DraftKings.
However, if you want our FanDuel core plays, hey, 50% off cyber sale going on right now. We have an entire playbook. Ronnie wrote up, 50 players today?
I wrote up a lot of players.
A lot of players today. We break down both the DraftKings and the FanDuel slate for all of you guys. Full in-depth analysis. I mean, like, if you guys are, you know what? Because I'm the boss, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to show you guys what the playbook looks like. We haven't done this on this show before, but you're getting this for 50% off right now. So I might as well just give you the goods and let you know what you're missing out by not joining the family. So let's hope this works the way I think it's going to. And Again, written it all down. Full playbook written by Grande here today. Got our little links to our preview shows, got our tools, all updated injury news that we give out throughout the day. Spreads, lineup, our core plays highlighted in bold. These get updated as the news comes out as well. Link to our live show. And then this is all of our analysis. Full player write-ups per position, by price, all the way through. We do this for every slate. So if you guys are looking for something to join, looking for the information for more than what we give just on the live show, we spend a lot of time. Hours go into the playbook, breaking it all down for you guys. So that's a taste. That's a taste of our DFS playbook for NBA. We do that for NFL. We do it for MLB. You're getting it all for 50% off right now. FantasyAlarm.com/cyber. Promo code CM50. You can scan that QR code right there. It's $19.99 a month through 2026. So basically 13 months for 50% off if you sign up today. This sale ends Sunday, so don't miss out. You can cancel it anytime. You can try this out for a month, $19.99. But if you cancel, then you got to pay $40 a month to rejoin. You don't want to do that. Just stick with us here. So check it out. That's the playbook. We got all of our tools and lineup generator, optimizers, ownership numbers, and everything there as well. All of our best bets and seasonal fantasy content available for you guys. And we have our premium Discord. Grande.
For all those that are new here, and thank you for tuning in. We build a core play at the end of the slate. So Omaha Foodie and Earl coming in here asking for cores. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys watching. Just stay at the end of the show, and that will be there for you.
That's true. We do build a lineup at the end of the show.
We will build, and then we will finish that lineup in the Discord. So we are going to break the slate down positionally. So if you want to stick around for that, you can. But we will be building a core at the end of the show in an hour.
Yep, 100%. So again, guys, come join the family. We'll throw this up here again as more as the show moves along. But if you want, you can also just hit that like button. Our goal for every show is to get 100 likes. Got it yesterday. We'll get it again here today. Appreciate all of you and the support. You can hit that subscribe button as well, free to do. If you want to join the Fantasy Alarm channel, you can hit that join button. It's $4.99 a month. Get cool emojis, get badges. And when we hit 50 members to our YouTube channel, we're going to start doing some member-only content there. So become a member of the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel for $4.99 a month. And soon get access to some cool things that we're planning, some private streams, some lineup building, maybe live shows for you guys as well going in. Is it for new players who can pass people? No, past people can join too. You can go join 50% off. Anybody. Sign up, fantasyalarm.com/cyber. All righty. Point guard position. Maxey, Cunningham, Giddey are up over $10,000 here tonight. We kind of went in on the fact that, we didn't feel like you had to necessarily spend all the way up at this position. There are some great spots to spend today. Ownership isn't on these guys really either. How are you kind of figuring out? Because they all have huge ceilings, right? So mid-tier, value tiers where a lot of people are spending their money today. Do you find yourself more into Maxey, Cade, or Giddey?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm spending up, I would probably prioritize Cade if I'm spending up. I am really interested in this spot. Portland is 3rd in pace and 20th in defensive rating. So obviously, dream scenario, right? You get a pace-up spot and against a bottom 10 defense. Cade has a 32% usage and almost 1.5 fantasy points per minute this year. You mentioned nobody is playing him, and this tier in general is not getting any ownership.
No.
And in fact, Cade's actually getting the most ownership of this tier, but I think he has the highest ceiling in this spot. So I will go Cade. I think Giddey, I've probably come around a little bit more. We've talked about how Indiana allows a lot of points in the paint. Josh Giddey is amongst the league leaders in drives per game, whether that's drive and kick, whether that's drive and try to finish. Indiana has no interior resistance. They lost Miles Turner to free agency, and it's been it's been doomsday since. As good as J Huff has been and can block shots, J Huff also tries to block everything, and that's not always a good thing. So, do we have news?
Oh no, I was saying, they obviously lost Miles Turner.
Yeah.
They might be able to get it back. Seems like Milwaukee might trade him too. So.
Yeah, it's everything seems on the table. And then I think the next tier, I think it's in this like 9K range. I like James Harden tonight.
You and the field, right?
I think James Harden looks. Yeah, James Harden is getting some ownership. It's interesting to me tonight that like nobody is really spending up. Like Austin Reeves is the clear guy tonight that people are getting to.
Yeah.
And then it's Harden, or like they're close, or at least they were close the last I checked.
Yeah, if Mobley gets ruled out, Donovan Mitchell's also up there.
Yeah.
So
Donovan Mitchell too. But another like good spot for Harden. It's a nice pace up spot for the Clippers. The Clippers are one of the slowest paces in the league, and the Grizzlies play at the 13th fastest pace, and they're 17th in defense. They're slightly worse than average. And again, we're talking about he had the one bad game where he seemingly gets benched and comes right back with no like injury, no nothing. Yeah. 32% usage player this year, 1.4 fantasy points per minute. Cheapest price tag we've seen James Harden since November 4th.
We said this a lot of guys, not necessarily that timeline, but there was maybe because it's 11 games, but there was a lot of players that kind of had their price go down a couple $100 on them.
So. I am interested in the price in the matchup, pace up spot, obviously, which is every spot basically for the Clippers. But I think I'm with the field here on James Harden. I like him quite a bit tonight.
Brunson's another one that's getting a little bit of love. I like Brunson. We kind of go back and forth on this one all the time. The scoring ceiling is definitely there.
Yeah.
Just whether or not the peripheral stats come through or not. We had a comment that Kevin Porter Jr. is the play. Kevin Porter Jr. is in your playbook. He's also the guy getting the most ownership at this position today, almost 40% for KPJ. Is that just the next guy you get to? I mean, how did you break down the point guard position today?
It is the next name I got to. I wouldn't have an issue playing. I was close to adding Keontae George to the playbook.
Okay.
Like really close. And I'm probably going to if Yusuf Nurkic is ruled out, because we've now seen a pretty good sample. Without Yusuf Nurkic, Keontae George is an absolute monster. So that would be the other guy. The problem is the competitiveness of this game is obviously in question.
15.5, I think.
And second leg of a back-to-back for Utah. Not that they really had to travel, right? They played against Brooklyn last night in the same Brooklyn. Hotel, probably. Probably did it. Yeah, probably just like took a bus or some team ride over to the other borough, right? From Brooklyn to Manhattan. So that would be the only one in between Harden and KPJ. I don't want to disrespect Ryan Rollins completely.
Okay.
He was really good again the other day. Without Giannis, was
significantly more expensive.
Significantly more expensive. He is not that on FanDuel. They're like essentially the same price, and he's getting a lot of ownership over there. So specifically, if you're playing FanDuel, which I know we had someone earlier in the show talk about FanDuel core, Ryan Rollins looks as good as KPJ over there. It's a small sample for KPJ sans Giannis. Like he hasn't really played a lot.
Yeah.
But John, before KPJ decided to do what he did and get himself like kicked out of the league basically for a while, we know that he is an uber talented player. Without Giannis, 54 minutes this year, 33% usage, 1.4 fantasy points per minute.
Yeah.
The game that Giannis left the other day, KPJ had a 36% usage in, and we've seen now a season high 35 minutes. Like it took him, and he's returning from a minor surgery. It took the Bucks and him 3 games to ramp up to 35 minutes, which just tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
There's 40-minute upside for Kevin Porter in a competitive game. We just saw it out of Ryan Rollins, right? Cole Anthony completely is out of the rotation completely.
Yeah.
They are shrinking the rotation because they, as an organization, understand like we need to win. We don't need to play Gary Harris, and we don't need to play Amir Coffey.
Teams have never had to play Gary Harris, and yet they did. So.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like, with the all the smoke behind Giannis and like, will he or will he not be traded? Like KPJ has 40-minute upside. It's a great spot. There's really good numbers backing it. The Phillies a bottom half of the league defense, coming off a second in a second leg of a back-to-back where they have to travel, obviously. So I am highly intrigued with KPJ.
Yeah, his point prop tonight's 21.5 on DraftKings too. So like they're obviously projecting a lot of points out of him. His PRA line for tonight is set at my mic always gets in the way of my computer screen. 33.5 PRA for him. I mean, he almost had that in points the other day. So yeah, a lot of good things trending in the Kevin Porter Jr. Range there. Just a quick comment on Omaha here saying, why is Harden projected so highly on? So from an ownership perspective, he's the 3rd highest, but he's only like 15, 16, 17%, depending on what the update just was there. So he's not getting a ton of ownership.
He's the 3rd highest projected point guard. There's only 2 of them that are over 20%.
Yeah. So, just putting in perspective there. Nembhard's getting a little bit of ownership love just because of that matchup against Chicago. We know Chicago's poor with defense, high game total there. And then it's a lot of value that people are getting to at this position. So we talked Lonzo on the preview show. We talked about how he had a game with 34 minutes and he had 8, 7, and 7, shot 3 of 15 because he's not a good shooter. But now they might be without Mobley. They're without Allen. They're without, obviously, Garland. They're without all those plays here. Is Lonzo a core build for you tonight? I
mean, we had literally talked this through on the preview show, right? We said there's a strong possibility that Lonzo enters the starting lineup tonight. It's most likely him or Dean Wade. And this was pre-Evan Mobley downgrade.
Yeah.
Still no confirmation on Mobley. We're assuming he plays, but either way,
yeah, I
think Lonzo starts with or without him. We saw him start the last time Darius Garland missed, and he played the 34 minutes, which we were kind of told earlier in the year that there was going to be a mid-20s minute cap, and he wouldn't play back-to-backs.
No back-to-backs, playing 25 minutes, and he played 34. We're like, oh.
Now I do wonder, like, that wasn't obviously expressed to like the media or anything. Like Kenny Atkinson didn't come out one day and be like, okay, I want to start my press conference, be telling you Lonzo's off his minutes restriction. Like that's not obviously, and I'm assuming no one thought to ask because
they told us earlier.
They told you, yeah, like no one thought to like update it maybe like, hey, the article needs updating, right? It's like, is Lonzo ever coming off? Oh, funny you should ask. Yeah, he's starting. He has like no restriction tonight.
No restrictions. Yeah. Doing good.
The problem since then is Garland's been healthy or he hasn't been healthy, right? Because he had his own illness and Darius Garland's been active. Well, he's healthy and now Darius Garland is on the injury report with the toe again. So I think Lonzo starts. I think there is obviously a path to 30 plus minutes. I'm not saying it is guaranteed, but at least the door has been opened to that possibility. In that game, John, he had a 23% usage rate, which is all you need for a $4,500 point guard.
Yeah. He just can't shoot still. 3 of 15, 1 of 9, 1 of 4. Like he is.
It doesn't matter though.
Horrifically.
It doesn't matter because he's a very good rebounding guard and he's obviously an elite passer. Still.
No, I agree.
So
if he could just knock down something.
If that said 5 of 15, 33%, he has nearly 40. Yeah, he has almost 40. He has 40 fantasy points, dude. Yeah. Like, so To Faisal's question here, it's Lonzo versus Harper. I would go Lonzo, but I do think, as we've seen the Dylan Harper minutes, I do think that there is a path to more Dylan Harper minutes because, and I think this is large picture Spurs thing, Kelly Olynyk has kind of been axed from the rotation, right? He didn't play last game with Cornet active.
Don't tell ownership that today.
No, but I think he's going to play today, but I'm just saying, like, they went small with Sohan as their backup center last time. So if they start Sohan tonight, which we don't know what's the case is going to be, Cleveland is not going double big, right? It's not a traditional.
Cleveland might start Thomas Bryant tonight.
They might. Shout out to Anthony. He's already in here.
Anthony in the chat.
They're going to go one singular big, whether it's Mobley or whether it's Thomas Bryant because Mobley's out. You could realistically play Sohan as your single big. And I think in that scenario, we're just going to see more death ball lineups from the Spurs, right? More Harper, more Keldon, more just all of those kind of plays. So, like, I think Lonzo ultimately ends up with more minutes than Dylan Harper, but does Dylan Harper's minutes go from 22 to 25 tonight or 26? I think that's possible.
I mean, this guy, we if you've watched the preview show the last couple of slates, I have just drooled over Dylan Harper. 35% usage rate last game, 27 and 30% the 2 games prior.
Yep.
I mean, the injury is probably the reason he's not playing 30 minutes right now is they had to restart him, right?
Yeah.
So, like, because he got up to 29 minutes back against Brooklyn in October. So, like, they were willing to play him big minutes, and then he got hurt, and he's been slowly coming back. If he plays 25 to 28 minutes tonight, I mean, 40 fantasy points is very realistic. If he's going to be giving you 30+% usage rate, we talk about this a lot, and those of you who've tuned in, like, very few players get 30+% usage rates when they're on the floor. And when those guys do, they put up huge points. So, I'm obviously a big fan of Dylan Harper. You got to obviously, temper your expectations because there's nothing to indicate that they're just going to jump him up 5 more minutes here. But it's a great spot. Price dropped on him again, 4,700 after being 5K and 53. So it's almost as like I said, the elevator's going in the wrong direction right now. Yes. The minutes are going up and the price is going down. You jump on this value potentially now. And to answer Faisal's question, I mean, you play ball because you think the minutes are going to be higher, but if they both play 26, 27 minutes tonight, I think Dylan Harper outscores them. So
yeah, I would project like 24 minutes for Harper and probably 28 for Lonzo. If I was, which I do. Which I actively do.
As I said, did you do the projections today? So did
no,
you?
I mean, I adjust.
You moved them around. Yeah.
I'm a constant tinker. Like I just, you know how I am. Yeah. I'm like pretty meticulous. So like, sorry to everyone that I work with on that. But can we go to Anthony's question quick? Anthony, Jaylen Brown is playing tonight. So
hold on, which one?
Okay. Last Anthony question that he just asked. Grande, is it crazy to load up on Derek White, Pritchard, and Austin Reeves? I am not at this price on DraftKings. I am not playing Derek White. I'm not saying it's a bad play. I just don't have a lot of interest in a large field tournament. If I'm building multiple lineups, I would play him and like kind of feel the same way about Pritchard. And then Omaha Foodie also talking Celtics about Jordan Walsh last night. Last night, Celtics versus tonight Celtics are 2 different teams. Yeah. It's 2 boxes that are completely different.
I just told you how good a 30% usage rate was in a game against was it Detroit?
Detroit, yeah.
Against Detroit, Jaylen Brown had a 50% usage rate in that game.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to confidently play another Celtic when Jaylen Brown is healthy. Obviously, Derek White and Peyton Pritchard are the most secure with their minutes.
Correct.
Of those 3. of that group. And I truly believe that Jordan Walsh is earning himself a lot more leeway with his minutes because Josh Minot for a while played really well, got the leeway, then started getting foul happy, and all of a sudden out of the rotation for a little bit.
Is playing well again, by the way, Minot. They're both playing well
again. Yep. They don't really have a backup center. They're choosing to go smaller. Neemias Queta again didn't really have he had an okay game, but the minutes weren't
it was foul trouble. I looked, we had early foul trouble there.
Yeah. So I mean, Jordan Walsh, I think, is fine. You can't project another 22 points with Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's taking 30 shots a night, so it's very difficult to kind of go there. So,
and it's difficult for everyone at their price because they're basically priced as if Jaylen was out.
Yeah, agreed. Any other value plays like Shed's getting a little bit of look? What else? We had another like rant. Jaden Ivey is over 10% tonight at $3,200. Like what's the field seeing here?
Because he almost played 20 minutes.
Okay.
I like the problem is there's other values that I think are just like Jaden Ivey is obviously super talented, but there's
for sure.
If you want to go there, I mean, we're going to talk about I guess you can look at it from the perspective of we're about to talk about a couple players at the power forward and forward spots and center spots that are similarly priced that could play as many minutes as Jaden Ivey.
Okay. If you had to pick one of Jaden Ivey at 32 or Walter Clayton at 31, who would you play?
Walter Clayton.
Walter Clayton, right?
I actually wrote him up today.
Okay.
Because I think there's a lot of paths here, John. You had messaged me this morning about the Walter Clayton minutes.
Yeah.
And we have a Drew Smith shout, and I think that's a little bit interesting because the hero, but he also just like kind of backs up Davion. So there's not like overlap there. Like
hero got ruled out. Yeah.
Yeah. So Clayton has kind of played anyways, like in every situation. He played all 12 minutes yesterday of the fourth quarter. He played half the fourth the other day in this second game versus Houston, and then he played the whole 12 in the blowout loss, which tells you playing in the fourth quarter in competitive game, playing in the fourth quarter in a blowout,
and playing all of the second
and all of the second quarter. So like you have a guy, one who's kind of he's usurped Isaiah Collier in terms of priority. They're looking at Collier saying you are better right now than Collier is. And he's on the floor if this game gets out of hand. We already said it's a 15.5 point spread. So like, I actually think Walter Clayton is a pretty interesting punt if you need to go there. Again, don't know if you do, don't know if you don't, but he's in the rotation. He's a 0.9 fantasy point per minute player, and he plays in a blowout, and he's in the rotation in non-blowout situations as well. So there's a lot to like about Walter Clayton, who, came into this year as like one of the guys that people were like, oh, this is a, experienced college player coming off a national championship win, like, and steamed up people's draft boards because it's like, oh, maybe we can take something from these like seasoned players, right? Cedric Coward, Walter Clayton, like ready to go as soon as they hit the NBA level. So, I think.
I drew your attention to him because his point prop was 5.5. I was like, that seems awfully low for a guy getting some run there. But you got to find it. It's only on the pick'em sites and like BetMGM have it. But I wrote it up anyways. But yeah, I mean, again, at 3,100, I'd rather take a guy that might play 25 minutes tonight because he's getting full second and fourth quarter run in a blowout here, 50.5 point spread. So, all right, let's go on over to shooting guard. You mentioned Reeves is where everybody is spending their dollars today. Probably a good decision. 66 fantasy points, 41 minutes, 44 actual. We talked about it on the show when there was no Luka Doncic on the floor. It was like a 37% usage rate.
Yep.
What do we got with no LeBron, no Luka, no Smart here?
38%. I mean, it's hard to go up from 37.
It's true.
37 is like you would lead the league
for a full season, not an individual game. Anything higher than that is like pretty crazy.
So he's over 1.6 fantasy points per minute. Boston has been a great offense and a terrible defense lately. Like they are winning. They're just outright bludgeoning people offensively.
You know what it was actually surprising to me is I was looking up the numbers today. Their opponent average field goals made per game. They're the second best team in the league.
Boston.
Yeah,
they're specifically bad lately. Yeah, they're good on the year.
Yeah, it's the Thunder allowing the fewest field goals made, and then the Celtics are allowing the second fewest.
Like,
go figure that one.
Last 10 games, they're in the bottom 10 in defensive rating. They're the number 1 rated offensive team over that span.
Yeah,
it's like basically coincides with JB just going out of his, like blacking out and just being out of his mind. JB might have gone to Turkey and like not only got hair implants, like took some type of like limitless pill and just became who he's become.
Well, he definitely hasn't fixed his hair yet.
But he definitely hasn't fixed his hair, but he might. But we don't know about the limitless pill.
True,
because he scored 42 and then went on a stream with somebody. I don't know who was on the stream and then didn't play, but now he's back. Anyways, all that to say, yeah, Austin Reeves is great because there's a bunch of different ways he could beat you. Like he's become an elite scorer from 3 levels. He is an elite passer, plays pick and roll with DeAndre Ayton extremely well. Good rebounding guard. Yeah, I mean, dude, he is every level scorer. So yeah, I think Austin Reeves is as good as it gets tonight at 9,500. And we say this all the time, John, like these big slates, we have Jokic, we have Maxey, we have Cade, we have Giddey, and no one's paying up for them because we have an 11K player at $9,500 essentially. Like you just have one of those guys here.
I mean, he was $10,000 earlier this year without Luka.
Yeah, he had a 50-point near triple double.
Yep. So I mean, he was only 7,700 that day. So yeah, I mean, listen. Obviously, you want to get to him. No one's going to fight you with him. Donovan Mitchell's half the ownership, and he's putting up 60 bombs here. So I mean, like, you know, this is you and I talk a lot about, and you obviously had a ton of success last year, taking down numerous contests. It was finding the correct pivot sometimes, right? Yeah. Where it's like, all right, on today, Anthony, Austin Reeves could go out there and put up 65 fantasy points, 60 fantasy points. But like if Donovan Mitchell does as well at half the ownership, you know, you might find yourself with some leverage on the field and gain some points here. Now, basically the same price. You know, would you bet on Mitchell over Reeves tonight, or what do you think?
It would be a hard thing to pass on if Mobley's eventually ruled out, because now you're taking essentially 4 starters off the court, right? Mm-hmm. Merrill, Allen, Mobley, Garland. There's only listen to these numbers, okay?
Is it like a 9-minute sample size?
It's a 54-minute sample.
Okay.
Garland, Mobley, Allen are removed from the basketball court. Donovan Mitchell has a 45% usage rate and is 1.7 fantasy points per minute.
Yeah. I mean, those are, again.
Now, like 54 minutes is what it is. It's not a like legitimate sample.
Yeah.
That's the sample that we have this year without those individuals.
Yeah.
This version of Donovan Mitchell is better than we've ever seen offensively. Like he is playing his best basketball. I've said it 100 times on the show, but it just keeps being true. He will dominate this game. I mean, like flat out dominate if there's no Evan Mobley. More than he already has. So I like Donovan Mitchell whether Mobley plays or whether he doesn't. Obviously, it's elevated. I would like to see what the ownership discrepancy would become because there's already not that big of a gap between Reeves and Mitchell. Like it's in like around 10% below AR.
Mitchell's point prop tonight, depending on what book you're at, is anywhere from 31.5 to 33.5. So
I mean, dude, you don't get 33 like Shea probably is the only one that you get 33.5. And even at that point, is Shea even getting 33 because he's not playing fourth quarters.
And if you're a DVP guy, which I know, we go back and forth on whether or not we trust, we care about defensive versus position numbers. San Antonio is not good for guards defensively. So, I know you're not that, but some people are.
I don't truthfully, I don't factor that into my research whatsoever.
No, I know.
Some people do, some people don't. I get it. That's totally fine.
They're not defending the guard spot well. So
okay. It's weird because Stephon Castle has been an elite defender, I guess, because
Castle's
he's been out, but he's missed out. He's been
Wemby's not there to defend the rim. So
yeah, their rebounding rate has gone way down.
Porzingis and Jalen Johnson are both in tonight for Atlanta.
That makes that game very fun.
All right, so we get past Reeves and Mitchell. Where do we go next? Because Ingram at 83 doesn't really make sense. Not that he can't have a good game, but like spending up wise, you're going to find money for Reeves or Mitchell. Probably don't settle in on Ingram outside of just tournament play. Is there a next stop for you? I liked NAW. I'm not sure if I like him as much now with Porzingis and Jalen Johnson playing.
Yeah, I am not going to play NAW at that price with them in. Now, we don't have any idea what the minutes are going to look like. I would be surprised if Porzingis came back and played 30. I would be surprised if Jalen Johnson just assumes 38 minutes again, coming off.
That was a real calf injury or a load management calf injury?
Jalen Johnson's been pretty injured throughout his first few years.
Yeah.
Dude, he's playing a lot of minutes.
Well, that's why I was wondering, is this we don't want to get fined again, so we're going to go and...
Well, we'll find out.
That's true. We will. They will get fined or they won't. We'll know.
So, we can come back to this moment or we'll never come back to it because they never get fined, right?
Yeah. Sure.
So TBD on that.
Sure.
I would say Durant, if we get the Şengün news, I think we had a question.
We did. Is Şengün going to sit?
It's impossible to have that. He got midday downgrade with an illness. That is not obviously what you want if you're someone who's interested in Şengün. Durant has super elite numbers without Şengün and Tari Eason this year.
Yeah.
So it would be Durant would be the answer, but TBD on the KD one. I don't really have a lot of interest in the rest of the tier. I know there's going to be some Phoenix love, Grayson and Gillespie.
And play Norm? 66 for Norm, no hero?
Yeah, I think Norm looks very good in tournaments.
Now that the price is coming down, you don't need him to do much more than what he's at.
Yes, the bad thing was when Norm was mid sevens.
Yeah. And
then Tyler Hero came back, he was essentially unplayable.
Yeah.
Because they had 12 guys that they could play. There isn't a massive bump with Tyler Hero off the floor. It's also because Tyler Hero didn't really play a lot.
And also Norm also just kept scoring.
With Hero team leading 28.2 or without Hero 28.2% usage, 1.2 fantasy points per minute. Obviously, this isn't the most fun matchup you can have. Orlando is once again oh, look, they're playing Jalen Suggs and Anthony Black a lot, and suddenly their defense is amazing again. Isn't that funny how those things work, John?
Getting Banchero back tonight.
Paolo back. But I think that he is a definite GPP play. I have him listed as one in the playbook.
It really hasn't mattered the matchup for him. He's just scoring.
He's just an elite offensive player. It's just if there is any hiccup offensively, you're cooked because at least in some other instances, players can rebound or they're good passers, so they can make up the difference there. But I kind of feel the same way about Shaedon Sharpe, who I think is one of the better tournament plays of the day overall. My opinion really hasn't changed on that since last night's show. I think I made him the cover of my playbook tonight. He's 6,300. 6,600 over on FanDuel. So essentially the same price. We had talked about him coming off the bench after returning from the calf. The minutes slow. And then they jumped to 30.
Yeah.
And then the key was, what do they do second leg of a back-to-back? And then he played 32 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, all right, so we're just good. Like we're obviously just beyond the calf. If you're going to give Shaden the 32 minutes on the second leg of a back-to-back. And this isn't necessarily like the best spot. Detroit is obviously pretty good defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a guy we're talking about without Drew Holiday this year that has a 35% usage rate, 1.2 fantasy points per minute. And you just don't find mid 6K to low 6K plays that have 35% usage rates that also play 30 minutes, right? Doesn't happen. I think that there's a realistic opportunity for Shaden to re-enter the starting lineup. Even if he doesn't, like City Sissoko is only going to be a placeholder. We've seen placeholder starters in the history, like throughout the history of the NBA, right? Like maybe they just like bringing Shaden off the bench, but that doesn't matter. Like he's going to get his 30 plus. And so I am all in tournaments and honestly, just whatever format you want with Shaden tonight.
Yeah.
And the field's only getting to him at about 10%. I'm really hoping it doesn't go up any higher. But yeah, that's my guy.
We did have a Jalen Tyson comment earlier from Georgia here. $5,800. Do we get there?
You can. I mean, he's going to play mid 30s minutes. He is a good rebounder. He's one of your guys, John. He's a good competitive rebounder, right? Like he's a very hustle rebounder.
Love the hustle guys.
Yeah. He's not like an elite fantasy player. And so like that's where I kind of get hung up a little bit. Like he's not this I'm going to go get 20 shots guy. Now he can. We've seen it.
I was going to say, he had back-to-back really good games versus Boston and Indiana. They obviously may have to lean on him more if Mobley ends up not playing, right? So
yeah, I think the Mobley out scenario I would be more interested in. Like as of right now, he's my fourth favorite Cav, I'd say. Maybe third favorite Cav behind Lonzo and Donovan Mitchell.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, you can definitely get there. The price is just the only like real concern. And to Jason's point here, Asar is definitely going to guard Denny to start the game. I mean, Denny is their best player. Shaden just is their highest usage player.
Sure.
So, and Jaden Ivey plays 19 minutes a game, so I'm not worried about it.
All right, anything else here at shooting guard?
Anything else at shooting guard? Toumani Camara is okay. Like nothing like good or bad to say about Toumani Camara. He's been making all of his shots. He's going to play big minutes. Obviously, he has a tough assignment because he's going to be the Cade defender, but he's been the Donovan Mitchell defender. He's been the Brandon Ingram defender. He's been the Shea defender these last 3 games. Like Toumani Camara has a terrible gig, like terrible. Hey, Toumani, how was your week? Oh, it was fine. I just had to guard Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, he got coached by all of them, too. So, it's not as if he shut them down.
Well, it's like they're so good. Like you could play good defense. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I think Camara is okay. Again, Reed Shepard would be intriguing depending on the Alperen Şengün news. You can play Harper here. You can play Lonzo here.
A lot of the value guys we just talked about have the dual eligibility.
Yep.
All right. Small forward we go.
No takes on Suggs to Prince. not playing him with Paolo back.
Yeah, they just said Paolo's going to be on a minutes limit. Maybe that's why that comment just came out. But Jaylen Brown's $9,500. Jaylen Brown obviously has been very good at basketball. Jaylen Brown currently under 10%. Viable pivot from Austin Reeves?
I think you can play them both if you wanted to. Just stack up that early game and just hope that Reeves and JB are just go crazy.
Yeah.
But
Kawhi is the only guy basically above 6K that's getting any ownership. He's 15%.
Yeah, he should. Right? Like he should. Or man, Tony's in the chat. Tony, Fantasy Alarm subscriber.
Tony, always in there. Always throwing some lineups and bets.
Good memes. Tony's a good memer.
Great memer.
Yeah. Kawhi should be highly owned. And again, not to disrespect JB, but like, to be honest, I would play Kawhi before I play JB tonight for $1,500. That's what we got. What do we got? I see you.
Porzingis will have a minutes limit. Doesn't say what, just says will.
Okay. He's for all but like one game this year. He's basically had a minutes limit, right?
he's gonna play 25 like he usually does.
Yeah, he's 20. Yeah, right. I wonder if that means they bring him off the bench, kind of like preserve him a little bit, like get him and start a Kongwu. I think Kawhi, and we've said it for a week straight, like it's just too cheap. And one day, with again another guy that was just going to play more minutes without being told that he's coming off a minutes restriction.
Yeah.
He was pacing for 40 minutes. I wrote it in the playbook. He didn't play the final near 6 minutes of the game. Like he was pacing for 40 minutes in this game. Sold. Don't care.
I think your exact comment the other day was like, at some point he's going to play 35 and we won't know about it. And then he did like that day.
Dude. And he just missed like, everything else, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, great. 8K? If he plays 38 minutes tonight, you think Kawhi Leonard's going 7 of 21 again? No, dude. He's going 11 for 21, and he's going to score 50 fantasy points. Like, it's just one of the safest plays of the day is playing in what – and I shouldn't say Kawhi is safe because that is a little – I'm stepping too far and out of my but I like Kawhi quite a bit.
You know who his primary defender tonight is as well as Jaren Jackson Jr., one of known foul trouble.
Maybe because they run the John Collins Zubats front court. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, Anthony, they just came out and said he's going to be on a minutes limit. So
yeah, they didn't specify. They asked Mosley earlier today. He said he didn't specify.
All right. So obviously we made a big deal about this on the show. I don't know if you've have softened it all on Dillon Brooks in this matchup. But we talked about when the Jalen Green, Devin Booker combo is off the floor this year. Dillon Brooks has a 41% usage rate, which is just an incredible number to have. This guy is scoring at an all-time level for him specifically. Shot volume, three-point volume, the make volume for him. He's kind of given away his ability to fill out the stat sheet. He's just fully focusing on scoring the basketball, but 41% usage rate, no Jalen Green, no Devin Booker this year.
Yeah, and we said he's going to be 1%. He's 1%.
Yeah, we did say that. That's true.
So if you want to play Dillon Brooks, you can play. I haven't my opinion hasn't changed. I think he's a perfectly fine tournament play. Just so it's a brutal spot. It gets easier a little bit if Şengün's out.
He just had this spot. He had 29 actual in that game. He did nothing else, but he had 29 actual.
Yeah, I know, but they still got blown out. Now there's no Devin Booker.
Yeah. No, they're not a good team, and they're facing a good
team. No, they are a good team. They're a pretty good team. They're a good team this year.
I guess they're okay.
They are greatly outperforming.
I think they're playing above their level, but they're playing well.
Because they're just very competitive.
And we did the preview show, and they were projected for like 19.5 wins.
Yes, they were. I think it was like 26.5.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And they're gonna soar over it. Right. I think Brooks is definitely in play.
Okay. Anybody else in this mid range for you? Obviously, you can play Shade in here. We know your thoughts on that already.
Yeah.
Nothing
Nothing else.
comment earlier.
Yeah, Hunter, if there's no Mobley, but he still probably will only play 28 minutes. I don't have Vassell is okay. Tyson, we talked about. P. Watt's getting some ownership. I think you could play Peyton Watson if you want.
The highest roster player at this position right now is Jake LaRavia. He has dual positional eligibility, but he's 30%.
Yeah, I like LaRavia quite a bit. I wrote him up tonight. He played 28 minutes with LeBron yesterday. There's now no LeBron, Luka, and Marcus Smart. Not a high usage player, 18%. 0.86 fantasy point player, but he has 30-plus minute upside. He played 28 minutes last night without LeBron. I think there is a definite pivot on the Lakers at this position, and that's Rui Hachimura, who's getting, his ownership has spiked, but it's still much different than what LaRavia's is, right?
Yep.
So I think Hachimura is a good pivot. He's the higher usage player. I think LaRavia does more, but Hachimura is the higher usage player. So it's depending on what you value, right? Like Hachimura could score you 20, 25 actual in a game. I don't think I guess LaRavia has done that. But the numbers tell me, there's like a 6% usage difference, Hachimura, LaRavia. There's also a $500 difference. So if you need the money, you play LaRavia.
Tony, we did talk Norm, and we basically agree with that take. The price coming down for him makes him a great play with Hero out. Obviously helps his scoring upside. He's not giving you much peripheral stats, but easier to pay off 6,600 if you're going to score 30 actual than when it's like 75 instead. Let's see, anything else there?
Keldon at 51. I like Keldon Johnson a bit.
Okay, it's not bad. That works.
Minutes are trending back up.
Sure. Peyton Watson's getting a little ownership.
I've mentioned P. Watt. Jarris Walker's getting ownership. Something that I don't have any care for or objection to. If you end up on Jarris Walker, it's fine. We
didn't talk Jordan Goodwin. Was that intentional, or do you have thought?
No,
you weren't sure where the minutes were going to go with him.
Yeah, that would be the only thing. They could give Jamare Booyah the minutes again, or some minutes. He closed in a blowout, so it would have been closer to 20 minutes. They didn't have Grayson last game, so Jordan Goodwin started the second half in the game that Booker left, but obviously, we assumed Grayson Allen would be that person. If you he's better in a blowout narrative, but he's also 5K, so I don't know. I'm probably not getting here.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Power forward. Up at the top, Jalen Johnson now in. No word of him being limited, just Porzingis. He's 10-2. Towns versus Utah at 97. Scotty Barnes at 91.
I think of that tier, I'm probably, as big a Jalen Johnson fan as I am, I'm probably not getting there. I don't think it's a terrible large field tournament idea because he has such a high ceiling. But the calf, first game back from the calf scares me for sure.
Okay.
I think Scotty's the guy for me here. You just look at these numbers without RJ and without RJ rather. And he's been amazing. 51 DK points in back-to-back games and 3 of 4. The Charlotte Hornets allow the 5th most points in the paint this year. Scotty is constantly attacking the rim. So I think this is another ceiling spot. I know Jakob Poeltl's back, but that hasn't really impacted Scotty all too much. So I like Scotty Barnes quite a bit. That would probably be the guy for me. Mobley, we just got the game time decision, which is classic. So we'll see if he plays. He's definitely fine. This is obviously a good Siakam spot going up against the Bulls, another team that allows and just bleeds points in the paint. Siakam this year averages about 14 drives per game, which is a big, big number, over 9 points per game on those drives. That will multiply a little bit here just with the Bulls' resistance at their lack thereof at the rim. 29% usage rate leads the team. So those would be the two guys for me here. I don't really have any other name. I looked at Wiggins, don't like the match. With Tyler Hero out, like he doesn't get any sort of bump. Not really there. The next name I'd get to is Bobby Portis. Love me some Bobby Poe tonight. And I think there's I don't know who is going to be the one. I think there's multiple options at who could start tonight. It could be Kuzma, could be Jericho Sims, could be Bobby Portis. They started Sims and played him a bunch of minutes after in the second half. They put Kuzma in the game right after the injury.
Yeah.
But Portis also played 30 minutes and Miles Turner did. I'm always willing to take a shot when Portis is priced like this on him because he's such a high ceiling player. Even in kind of a down year, we've talked about this all year. 24% usage rate, 1 fantasy point per minute without Giannis. And it's been a down year. So I like Portis quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Again, we've seen him pop for huge numbers without Giannis in the past. And obviously this team comprised a little bit differently, high usage rate guards now, with Porter Jr. and Rollins there. We had a Rollins versus Kawhi question in the chat. Would you rather
Casey, is that a FanDuel question? It's a very large price discrepancy.
I mean, on DraftKings, yeah, it's $3,000.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Porter,
I can't even imagine it's close on FanDuel.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to think about how that could work. Is that is there a 2v2 there, Casey? I would go Porter.
Yeah, it's a 30. It's a
he's 3,800 on FanDuel. I would play Porter either way because I'm confident in him starting.
Yeah. George thinks that Scotty's on a minutes limit. Do you think Scotty Barnes on a minutes
limit? Played. What are we talking about? He's played monster minutes. What are we?
36, 39, 39, 36. He played 32. He played 32 in this game that he got blown out. That was it. Yeah, we like Sohan. We'll get to Sohan, Casey. We'll talk about him now, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I like John Collins. That's probably the other guy I'd mention. $5,300. He's been better lately. Usage rate's been up. Filipowski, if they ruled Nurkic out, is probably going to start again. I know K-Love's back, but we'll get Filipowski in the starting lineup if Yusuf Nurkic is ultimately ruled out. And then, yeah, it's our boy Sohan, who
$3,400.
Yeah, they've used him as the small ball center, and Kelly Olynyk played one shift of 2 minutes 2 games ago, and then they played 0 minutes. Kelly Olynyk last time out, he did not play against the Magic. 0 minutes. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
If you're building your lineup with Sohan in your lineup and you want to just kind of wait for the starter, I guess, right? You got to put him in your util and then you can pivot down $200 to Kelly Olynyk if he ends up starting.
I mean, you could in theory, you could play them both. I don't know.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with.
I don't know what. I mean, they're both just. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to just figure it out and wait for the starter, because this game starts at 7:30. So I guess unless you faded the first 2 games, which is Miami, Orlando, then Lakers, Boston. You wouldn't really give yourself you'd have to give yourself some flexibility there.
Yeah, I guess with just Sohan or Olynyk would probably be max one. Max one's probably the correct play. Yeah. I think Sohan is ultimately the guy that plays more minutes. Olynyk is the better fantasy player, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how many minutes they'd be willing to play him.
Sure. Answer this question quickly. If you go to the fantasyline.com website and you go up to the top where there is the daily fantasy tab and then the NBA DFS tab, there's a thing called the NBA DFS Playbook. That's what you're looking for. You want the NBA DFS Playbook. where you can find all of today's full write-up. We showed that at the beginning of the show. For those of you who wanted to join Fantasy Alarm, like our guy there, 50% off sale going on right now, fantasyalarm.com/cyber. 50% off through 2026, 13 months of 50% off. Access to everything on site, not just the NBA, all sports, all betting, seasonal, DFS, draft guide, cheat sheets, Discord, all the fun stuff there. fantasyalarm.com/cyber, promo code CM50. Anything else, power forward?
No, let's go to center.
Center. Joker's 12-9. Obviously, there's value on the slate, but, it's never going to tell you not to play Nikola Jokic. He's under 10% today because 50% of the field is just walking in Kelly Olynyk at the center position.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. Don't need to tell you why Nikola Jokic is a good player. You just know that he is. Duren is actually the one that's kind of surprising me. Did you expect to see Duren as your basically your main spend-up center today?
No, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I also there's no one playing anybody else but Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah.
And then it's like all the power forwards you could basically play at center. But no, I don't love Duren. I think the price is good and he obviously has a ceiling. Portland doesn't allow many points in the paint. They have an elite rim protector. Nurkic is in. Well, Coach Chris, I had mentioned Kevin Love, but also don't need to worry about it. Yusuf Nurkic is in. So RIP to all the Kyle Filipowski truthers out there.
Mm-hmm. We also have that if OG plays, OG will have a minutes limit. Well, let us know if he is going to play or not. You don't know this yet?
Yeah, he's going through. He's going to go through his warm up. I saw.
Coach Chris is fading Austin. We talked about it. He's, there's other guys you could play.
I just typed in Austin to hope there was another Austin on the slate that he could be fading, but
Austin Rivers did Austin Rivers sign a 10-day somewhere?
There was no other Austins, and it's unfortunate, but yeah.
First Kings think that Drummond's going to smash tonight.
Yeah, I've seen some comments about Drummond. We saw some comments as Edie smash. I don't really have much interest in either of them. As bad as the Clippers defense has been, they don't allow any points in the paint. You look at
he only has 5 points in that game.
I mean, Zubats was, second team all defense last year.
Klingon ruled out, Robert Williams in.
Okay. So I wonder what they're gonna do. Because we know Rob Williams. So Chris Murray being ruled in there too, John. They're probably going to go with that Chris Murray small ball lineup that they do.
Yeah, they weren't going to extend Williams more than the
right. I was just gonna say, like, I wonder if they do start him with Duren on the other side, or they go with the Chris Murray small ball lineup. That's basically been the two directions they've gone.
Mm-hmm.
The Klingon out one is pretty big. That's a pretty big deal. I would like to see the starting lineup. Robert Williams is a good fantasy player. I said it last night to you on the show, though. I don't love that he was dealing with knee soreness. That is not ever what you want to hear when Rob Williams is involved. I just think they probably need the size. I wonder if that means we're going to see like more Duop Reith tonight as well. Like they just decide, all right, we need size against Duren and Stewart. It doesn't hurt Portland. We saw it the other day without Klingon. This was the Denny like triple double, like 19 rebound game.
Yeah.
So I'll have a big update in the playbook with Klingon out to reflect the Portland news and where I like, but yeah, that is obviously an interesting one that Klingon's out. And that is perfect timing with Duren being the second highest rostered center of the day, because Klingon is a good defender and is a good shot blocker, and that matters, dude. Like it just that matters. I don't know what else to really say. That the only thing I'd say about Duren versus like some of the centers around Duren, like Zubats has 40-minute upside, and Bam has high 30s upside, and Edie, not as so much. Like Aiton has mid-30s upside.
What if Mobley plays? Would you have any interest there?
Yeah, sure. But yeah, like Edie's not a priority to me. I think onto the Drummond comment, I'm a little worried about the knee. Maybe I shouldn't be. But I think with Bona back and Barlow, I think that there could be like some weird like 3-man split at center, and like 6,600 doesn't feel good for Drummond. Like I would just rather pay for Aiton or play Portis or Collins here. And then obviously we have the Kelly Olynyk thing here. I think Kelly Olynyk, if I were projecting, Kelly Olynyk plays like 18 minutes tonight. I don't know. I don't know if they can survive more than that with Kelly Olynyk, because he's not a good, like he's a 0 on the defensive end, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's obviously he's the most popular play of the slate, so I don't have much.
Yeah, it feels uncomfortable to fade a 50% $3,200 player because he doesn't have to do much to hit value, and he just allows you to get to everything else.
But to your previous comment, it's like he is going to likely be in the rotation.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't start, it doesn't really matter.
No.
But he's the better fantasy player than Sohan. But if Sohan starts, you're obviously more comfortable playing Sohan.
Yes.
So
usually.
Well, I'm just saying Sohan's 3,400. Yeah. So like if he
starts, you play Sohan so you could pivot to Olynyk if you're going in that direction and not playing both of them.
I might. No, I'm not going to go there. Max one.
All right. Well, build a lineup time.
Also, I completely agree, Georgia. Scotty Barnes, unless there's a blowout, will not play 22 minutes tonight, or whatever the number you said was. He's 24. He's not going to play.
What?
Yeah, so of course Anthony's talking about Time Lord because he's like you people, you Celtics people, like you're everywhere. I can't get away from you people. God.
Harper's lines are too low. Dude, I agree.
He's
I think he's watching the show and delay and typing in the comment section.
He also has that is a picture of Greg Popovich giving someone the finger.
I love that even more for us.
That's Sohan.
Yeah, we gotta do Sohan and Util though.
KPJ.
Kevin Porter at point guard. Lead the direction here, Grande.
They just tweeted, by the way, Evan Mobley was not seen at shoot around this morning.
All right. Where does that do with Thomas Bryant then?
Like I would I guess would they do Naquan or would they play Thomas Bryant?
Probably play them both. Well, Thomas Bryant's playing anyways, right?
Well, so, yes, both would play. I'm asking who do you think would start?
Probably
or do you think they go like they wait for the Spurs to put out their starting lineup, and then if the Spurs are going
smaller,
they just go like Dean Wade at the 5?
Yeah, it's possible. Go Kawhi here, right?
Yeah.
Power forward. Arabia's chalky. So
Arabia. Okay, we'll leave it there.
Center, guard, forward. Full lineup goes in the Discord as always. We appreciate you all tuning in with us each and every day. Once again, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We do live shows every day, 5 p.m. Eastern time, getting you ready for the main slate Monday through Friday. We have our Cyber Week sale going on, and Sunday it's 50% off all pro. All pro equals all access to all sports, seasonal DFS, and betting content through 2026. So 13 months of 50% off. Cancel it any time, but if you cancel it, you come back, you got to pay $40. So why not take advantage of this offer? Again, if you missed it early, I'll share it again. This is what our playbook looks like every single day. We break it down. You get your tools, projections, lineup generator, ownership. Got our preview show. Got all the updated injury news that Grind is going to be doing throughout the day. We have updated news that go here as well. Our lines, our core plays, which will be updated with all the lineup news. Then we do a full write-up for the entire slate. So there's a bunch of players in the playbook, full analysis and research written up for you guys to build your lineups. The playbook is connected to the lineup generator as well, so you can create lineups using just playbook players only. And you can get all of that for 50% off. So again, go to fantasy.com/cyber, promo code CM50 to check that out. Grande and I will be back Sunday night for the preview show for Monday's main slate. We'll catch you then.